Good afternoon, everybody. Joseph Poublan here. It is November 27th, 2020. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and I'm here to give you a little bit of an update on the storm that we're looking at for the eastern United States early next week, and then beyond that for Wisconsin, and upper Midwest, but really the country overall. All right, so this should be a quick update, hopefully. So let's go through what's going to happen here in the early next week time frame for that potential storm system there off the eastern side of the United States. As time has gone on, it's not changed a whole heck of a lot, and actually, this is at a bad time for me. So as we go through, you're seeing that low pressure actually moves off. It's a little bit further east now in the models. So Wisconsin, Upper Michigan, definitely for certain Minnesota and Iowa, probably out of the equation on this one. And I think that the effects are going to be mostly, um, not worth mentioning. Maybe a little windy. You can see here as these isobars kind of tighten up here. So maybe you get some wind that are flowing into the storm, some out of the west there. But yeah, I mean, that's not too bad, not too shabby, and I don't want it sounding right now. I really don't want it sounding right now. And as this time goes on, yes, you still see some of the same features we talked about last time, but again, no impact on Wisconsin. Towards the end of next week, the GFS tries to bring a weak system into the central United States here. Just fizzles out. We'll see what happens. And then it kind of passes that energy off. I didn't really look too closely on that into a more of a nor'easter type situation, which wouldn't surprise me in this type of pattern that we seem to be heading into. If we look at the snowfall amounts, this is just for for giggles here, just for fun. The European on a 10-to-1 ratio, which might be a little high for some areas, is kind of showing several inches of snow off there in Indiana and lower Michigan and Ohio. So not a major superstorm, but a snow event probably for that area, and with several days of yucky weather for them. Okay. The upper level pattern, I like to use the 500 millibar. It's kind of a nice blend, maybe not technically totally upper level, but kind of a nice read on most of the upper atmosphere there, showing you a tendency towards the troughing. Again, I'm going back and forth here, but troughing, upper level troughing in the eastern United States, not so much in the west, right? Because here in Wisconsin, we're looking for a pattern that more goes like this a little bit, so that you get the energy ejecting out like this. Right now, what we have is a trough in the east and a ridge in the west, roughly. This is not the best example, but so this doesn't tend to bring much in the way of interesting weather to Wisconsin. As we go 114, 130 hours out, not too much of a change. What I did notice on this run for the GFS was to reinforce that eastern tendency. It's not like a super deep trough. I'm just saying the jet stream doesn't really switch back to a western trough situation anytime soon. Okay, that's the key thing. Not anytime soon. I mean, this could go on for a while here into early December with the tendency for that eastern trough. So that's a little bit of a framing there for you. Looking at the PNA, again, this is starting to trend upwards. So when it's negative, this is a western trough tendency. When it's positive up here, it tends to be a western ridge or plus an eastern trough. So that just kind of checks out. This just helps to kind of, with the teleconnection explanation for it. All right, just to show you because it's interesting to me, looking at this nice warm blob of temperature. This is a sea surface temperature anomalies, positive there off the western coast. You can see the La Nina signature here. Right now, it seems to be more east based, but I'm sure as time goes on, that'll kind of flatten out or go this way and then weaken. In comparison to last year, okay, I'm going to flip back and forth to these. Last year on this time wasn't that much different out, so I'm not sure how much this difference is going to make. The only real difference you see, a big difference, is here and here between these two different time frames. So again, this is last year, this is this year. Okay, for what it's worth, maybe you find something interesting out of that. All right, so let's take a look at the height anomalies again. We're going back to the 500 millibar level, and we're looking at the United States here for the 8 to 12 day period. So this would be from what looks to be starting on the December 9th or ending December 9th, one of the two. Oh no, it's ending December 9th. You're seeing a tendency towards upper level ridging here and upper level troughing here, right? So the wind's coming down at a higher level, essentially doing this. So you're getting a warm Pacific flow here into the upper part of the United States, and then more colder temperatures, more storminess here in the eastern side of the country in early December. Just a bigger view of the same thing. You're seeing here's that upper level kind of zigzag. Okay, so this is a positive PNA situation, which tends to bring warmer over in here. Again, and just to contrast, I'm a storm chaser. I'm looking for interesting weather. You kind of want to see this pattern develop. This is the opposite here in early December of that. This is the temperature anomaly for that 8 to 12 day period, again, ending on December 9th. Again, this pattern may go before or after. It might just be the whole month. Who knows? But you're seeing a tendency towards warmer than average temperatures up in here. Why is this? I think it's a combination because you have this warm tendency off the Pacific coast, the ridging here. It's colder down here because you're getting that more of a downflow like that. But also a tendency towards storminess in this region kind of going up, perhaps through the eastern coast. I'm not saying this is a slam dunk northeastern United States storm track with nor'easters or anything like that. I'm just saying in comparison to Wisconsin, why is it warmer here when it's colder down here? Well, it's because of that pattern that's sort of like up and down. We talked about it pretty good here. I covered that pretty good. Precipitation trends. This is the 6 to 12 day time frame ending December 9th. Actually tending to be towards drier here in the GFS ensembles across the eastern United States, which I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing to say. I think you're going to have storm systems crossing through the eastern United States. The reason I think it's drier, giving that drier anomaly, is not because it won't rain. It's because what's going to happen is it might be a tendency towards more snow in the Midwest, or not the convective high precipitation amounts that may typically come from a storm track. Again, in early December and in December for the most part, you think you would probably seeing a storm track kind of like this, right? Which in that situation would bring warmth and moisture up. Okay, this is a typical December I would expect to see. And then you get thunderstorms that break out and go like this. Okay, that tends to bring a lot of the rain to this region this time of year, if you're going to get it. But right now you're seeing that opposite. Again, I'm going to draw that line in. Upper level pattern is sort of like this. So you're shoving the cold air down, and it's turning more of this into snow across this region. I think that's my best explanation for it. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe it won't rain or snow at all, or perhaps, like I just said, I'm leaning more towards what I was thinking on that part. The CFS 2-meter temperature anomaly for the month of December, okay? So now we're taking a step further with this pattern. And that shows a pretty warm signal here across the northern United States. I would say for the most part, this part of the United States here. This is a positive warmth, above average temperature. Why is that? Again, that could be related to this pattern that we're seeing. And actually, the way I'm describing it to you, it sounds like it's this major pattern, but maybe it's just a subtle feature in a pattern that's sort of lackadaisical and not real interesting overall. Looking at the precipitation trends from the CFS for the entire month of December, again, showing that same dry signal. Again, this is very similar to this, okay? It's very similar. So we're kind of all thinking, these two models at least have a pretty good agreement on there being, for the most part, in December, a warmer than average pattern and a drier than average pattern for much of the United States. Again, that's not to say there won't be storms. Okay. My temperature forecast for the month of December, I just updated this 2 days ago prior to Thanksgiving, for Wisconsin and Minnesota, Iowa, to above average temperatures in the month of December for the reasons I just mentioned. As you move further to the east, I think that it may be more of a near to above average. That's been pretty well explained. In terms of precipitation, looking at the analogs that I was using, and I was looking at the QBO, the La Nina situation, AMO, PDO, brought me closer to an average precipitation trend across this region with locally higher amounts. Again, looking at the CFS and the GFS ensembles showing that drier trend, I don't know. Perhaps it's more closer to average. For my point is I don't think it's going to be bone dry, but I think there will be some storms that bring some precipitation. And I didn't think it was out of the realm of that because you could go again. I have this scale that goes all the way down to B minus, which is below. This is like below, way below, and I didn't even go to below drawing that in, at least not yet. And I mean, I may, but again, I like the normal. I don't think there's anything that you should bend over backwards to compensate for. Again, the monthly forecast, which I'm now going to make free on the website. I got to push an update just after this video comes out to make that happen. But yes, so that's my update for today. We could go take another look at this model forecast. This is GFS. This is what I started with. Kind of go through the period one more time to review, showing you that there's that storm system that I mentioned a couple days ago for the eastern United States going through, spinning around. It's kind of a big storm, kind of a notable situation. Oh, and again, here's another one for later next week into that weekend. Showing this is a simple one. This is an interesting thing here. It's a colder. That's could be some snow in there, snow showers. I don't know. For that part, this is a week ahead of now, and taking that through blows up a nor'easter. Now again, this time frame, we're at 234 hours. I don't trust it very much, but just for kicks and giggles, we're showing you it. I mean, what do you see overall? In my opinion, I see more of a tendency towards storms on the northeast coast. Okay, we'll see how that changes throughout the period. But that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.